D for dragons. D for dragons. What? The live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. I love the animated film of How to Train Your Dragon. Probably one of my favorite animated films of the last 15, 16 years. That Dean Deblois, who directed the animated film, did a great job. I love that movie. And he is coming back now about 15 years later with a live action remake. So what did I think of the live action remake of this film? I was quite impressed, I have to say. I was happy with it. I can't believe that I am coming out as a positive review on this film. I was so skeptical when they announced this. I was totally dead set against it. And I still kind of am to a certain point. That's just more of like my principles amongst like marketing and making movies. But if you're gonna remake an animated film and make it live action, this is the way to do it.
This is how we do it.
Yes, it is pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the animated film with a few slight differences. But what they did do with this film is that they improved upon the characterization that they make in the animated film, which is already really well done. This movie does a great job of getting us to understand the characters of like Hiccup and Stoic and Aster, and like all of the main characters really get flushed out in this film and have moments of humanity and moments of regret and moments of love and triumph. And I thought how they brought these characters to life on the big screen was great, in fact. And while it takes a little bit more of a serious tone than it does as a like almost full out comedy like the animated film does, I like the direction that they took it in. It makes sense that they make it a little bit more grounded, even though it's dragons, but they make it a little bit more darker and grounded than the animated film. And that was a really smart decision by Dean Deblois and his team.
That's so fresh too.
I thought when they dropped the trailer for this film, the dragons looked not really good, like pretty terrible actually, but they probably hadn't finished rendering all the graphics and everything yet. So now that I got to see it in IMAX on the big screen, I went, the dragons look great. They did an awesome job of adapting them from the animated version and making them a little bit more real, or as real as a dragon can be on screen. And Toothless was perfect. I thought they did an awesome job with that character. But definitely the moment that stands out for this film is the first time that Hiccup and Toothless take flight and actually fly to the sky, and you know he's trying to control Toothless and stuff. That scene, and like the scene where they take Astrid into the air and they're flying around, is breathtaking and astonishing. It made me like get goosebumps even on my arms. Like I was so titillated and so happy when it was kind of going on. I was like full of glee. That's like the word I can think of. I was just like, oh, this is so fun.
Glee literally means glee.
And they do a great job of capturing that feeling of like, what would it be like to fly? Even though a lot of it is for sure digitally animated, they did a great job of capturing those realistic, landscapes. Like there are some beautiful shots in this film. There are some gorgeous moments of cinematography. Not all the cinematography is great, but some gorgeous moments of cinematography. And how they captured Berk and just all of the flying scenes. Mwah. Like, bravo, Dean and crew, bravo. And of course, Gerard Butler as Stoic is just like pitch perfect. He voiced the character in the show, he voiced the character in the animated film, so he plays a great live action version. I thought Mason played a great Hiccup in this film, taking over from the voice work of Jay Baruchel and making Hiccup more grounded, even though he is a idealist. But in the animated film, he's almost like a complete utter goofball. In this film, he's much more real and he's much more approachable of a character. And I love that they did that with him. But I thought he was great in this film. Where this movie does dip down at times is that it is a complete remake of the animated film. So if you're gonna watch this movie, am I gonna watch the animated film or the live action movie? I think I'd just rather watch the animated version. So this movie does feel a bit unnecessary. And the fact that this movie only came out like 14, 15 years ago feels way too soon that they're remaking it. And I felt that about all of the Disney movies like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and Lion King and Mulan and stuff like that. Like, it was just, they're way too soon. Let's wait like 30, 40 years down the road. Why are we making live action versions of it so quickly? I know why, because it's all about that money.
It ain't all about the money. It's not about the money, money, money.
And I get that, but at least make them a good quality movie, which How to Train Your Dragon, this film, mostly does a good job. Now, I mentioned earlier there were some great cinematography, some great shots in this film, and then at sometimes there were some really terrible shots in this movie, and some like too dark of scenes, and like you can tell they're trying to hide the CGI of the dragons with having like darker moments. Like the whole third act of the film is really quite like dark and bleak and gray. Then there's the whole thing of like, how original is this movie? You know, it's really just playing on its predecessor and kind of standing on the shoulders of the animated film. So if this movie wasn't good, I was going to be, you know, really upset and disappointed with this movie. But because the director and writer was so in love with this movie, and you can tell really cares about the characters in this world, it was made with like love and passion, and you could tell that this team tried to put on the best production, live production of How to Train Your Dragon as best as they could. Yeah, there's some editing things. I felt like the film was maybe a smidge too long. Like, it's definitely over 2 hours, and you could feel that runtime. Even though the movie moves along fairly well, I was at times going like, okay, we gotta be getting close to like the big dragon soon, right? There's a couple of scenes in this film that just bring this movie to a dead halt, and then it gets going again. But yeah, like there's definitely some uneasiness in its editing and its pacing throughout its entire runtime. Ultimately, I had an awesome time with this movie. I think if you're a fan of the animated film, you will love this movie. If you haven't seen the animated film, you'll still have a good time. Like, you don't need to have seen the animated film. You can just go into this and be like, I'm gonna have a dragon adventure with Vikings, and still love the movie. This is the kind of movie you want to see in theaters. Really did enjoy it, so I do give it 2 thumbs up. Or 2 wings up? 2 dragon wings up? Sure.
That shit ain't funny, motherfucker.
So overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give the live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon a B+. Thank you so much for checking out Mr. Teach Film Preach. If you like this video, make sure you click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, comment down below in the comment section, what did you think of How to Train Your Dragon 2025? Were you a lover of this film? Were you excited that they were remaking the animated feature film into a live action? Come back and check out some other movie reviews such as Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning and Thunderbolts. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next film.